What if they planted agents in time?
Take over the world type stuff? I wouldn't have to take over the world. I'd already own.
Right into the question. So, I mean, it's definitely been talked about before, but how did it feel coming back after the show was canceled? Like knowing you were going to come back?
Absolutely insane. I mean, first of all, I knew coming in, I mean, we all knew that it was a bubble show. It was about 50-50 whether or not we were going to get picked up or get canceled. But I still kind of was leaning towards, in my own head, like that we probably were going to get picked up. And so I was mostly shocked when it was canceled. Not shocked, but I was surprised and bummed. And then like 3 days later, surprise! False alarm. It was totally insane and just so cool. Obviously the fan reaction to the cancellation was so intense and rabid. That's happened to other shows before, but I think because it was such a bubble show and NBC was so on the fence about it, that just that little bit of reaction from the fans was enough for them to be able to be like, okay, yeah, let's figure out a way to make this for less money.
This show coming back because of the fans kind of was one that set a precedent for fans being way more vocal.
Yeah.
Like even if it's a show that there's
no chance
the show is coming back.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, I almost feel like they use this as the example. Because there's not that many times that a show's been canceled that they've been brought back. Like, I know, like there's like Mindy Project, but it moved to like
it goes to
network.
a different network. Yeah, it's pretty unprecedented for the same network to just change their mind as opposed to somebody else.
Family Guy is the only time, like Family Guy and Futurama.
Yeah.
Both Fox, by the way. But they're the only times I can think of a show being canceled and then like coming back.
Yeah. Well, 24 has been ended like 17 times now.
But
it was different.
Yeah, that's different. It just is like, oh, like we can bring it back again.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the one that now everyone's like, let's go start a petition because it worked for Timeless.
Yeah, and it's like if we just get a cool hashtag.
Yeah.
Look, Renew Timeless worked.
Fans can't get over seeing Wyatt and Lucy, or Lyatt. I guess the shippers call them that. Kiss. So they saw it in the trailer.
Yeah.
So any other juicy moments you can think of that might cause a similar type of reaction?
I've seen fans right now arguing already about whether or not, like, is that a real kiss or is that something in the, because, you know, every time they're back in time, they're undercover in some fashion, you know, so they're having to kiss right there because to further the story and make someone believe whatever, or is it a real thing? And I just love all the like fan theories, and everyone's like, no, that's got to be this, and it's got to be this, and but I am excited for everyone to see what it really is, and I'm, you know, the whole Lyatt thing, and spoiler alert, Emma might get her own little
like be part of a name,
couple name thing. I'm not saying it's definitely gonna happen, but it might. I mean, all of Emma's scenes last year were with Flynn.
It doesn't matter. You have no idea what you're up against.
Oh, I think I have a pretty good idea.
No, you don't, actually.
But, you know, things are definitely a little different this year because she completely double-crossed him.
So what would that shipping name be, though? Like, Flemma?
Flemma, that's gross. That sounds awful.
I think that's a thing. I think if your shipping name sounds like a disgusting thing,
you can't.
Then that, like,
You're
the
not
ship
a couple.
does not work.
Nope. No
you
one
have
is
to have
going
a
to
good
ship
name.
Yeah, so Flemma does not.
Flemma's no good.
Most
It's not going to
definitely
work.
not work.
Yeah, your character jumps back in time and meets a lot of very impressive, interesting women. You've met so far Hedy Lamarr.
In the premiere, we meet Marie Curie and her daughter, Irene. As far as the women, Hedy Lamarr. I don't think I'm actually allowed to say who else we meet beyond the first 3 episodes.
Okay.
But it's a lot of, I mean, it's so interesting because I feel like Sean Ryan and Aaron Kripke, the creators, have really put together such a diverse writer's room. And I feel like this season in particular, it's really coming forward, and last season too, really coming through in the storytelling.
Yeah.
But they're able to just, they're not necessarily learning about historical characters and figures the way you do in school. You're learning about it, you know, in the way
going there.
You're actually going there, and you're actually learning things that you don't necessarily just learn about in school.
Very much like Bill and Ted.
Exactly the same. But I think it lends itself to, while it's interesting to go and meet Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, because of the diverse writer's room, they're able to You know, I think the fans love the episodes where you're meeting a historical figure that maybe you didn't know so much about.
Yeah.
And that generally tends to be the African Americans, the women, the minorities, all of those people who weren't necessarily.
They don't get as much shine.
They weren't empowered in the way that, you know, I feel like this show really highlights so many groups that aren't just the white male historical figures that are so prominent.
And talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Do you feel like that's something that drew you to this project?
Yeah, I mean, you never know exactly when you're getting into a project just from the very beginning exactly what it's going to be, but I've certainly loved that aspect about this project for sure. And Emma herself is badass, you know, she's a badass woman, and this season in particular, she's definitely showing her true colors, and she's trying to make her way and go forward with her destiny in a man's world, you know, but she's a very powerful woman in a man's world, and it's interesting to see how she tries to navigate that and whether or not she succeeds.
Emma spent 10 years in the Wild West.
Yes.
Will we learn a bit more this season about what she was doing during that time period?
A little bit, yeah. Okay. So the same in episode, I think it's episode 7 is a big Emma episode, and you really learn a lot more about why she was back there and what even got her to that point in her life where she was willing to do that, how she got with Rittenhouse, all of that you get to see. So that was really fun, even just for me to read the first time. I was like, yes.
What would you say in season 2 is your favorite time period that you get to go visit?
The 50s were fun. We went to the 50s, 1952, I think it was. That was pretty fun just because it's different. I've done a lot of the like older episodes, but I haven't been in many of the not that long ago episodes.
Like recent history.
Yeah, so that was kind of fun to be in the 50s. I don't get to go to the 80s this year. I'm very sad. I didn't get to go last year either. You know, I love when you go to set for the first day of a new episode and you just get to see what they've created.
It's like going into a time warp.
The second episode is NASCAR in the 50s, and we were shooting outside at Sable Ranch up by Disney Ranch up there, and it was unbelievable what they created. It was also pouring rain and muddy and disgusting, and one of the hardest shoots we've ever had, but it looked amazing.
Key moments in history are being altered to change the present.
Well, the memories you have are new.